So in my last little preview, I talked about how I fight the fish on the drag. I don't like to use my fingers, and let me tell you why. You're dealing with a wild animal. You're dealing with something that is incredibly unpredictable. So when you have your fingers on that line, at least for me, and I'm pulling really hard back, if you're not totally in tune with what's going on, that fish gives a hard kick, you can break it off. And I've broken them off like that before, and I just don't like to lose fish. So I went to using my drag only. Now, what exactly does that mean? Again, the scale makes all the difference in the world. On this exercise that I'm going to show you in the next video, we're just going to talk about this today. I do everything at 60 feet out. So my first run, I like to use between 2 and 3 pounds of pressure. Now, let's talk about the equipment first. I've got the brand new Marksman Z fly rod. It's a nice fast action rod, my 12 weight, and I love the new Hardy Regent reel. This has a single one full turn of the drag, takes you from no drag to the top of the drag, as hard as it'll go. I love that because you're not spinning it a lot to find out where you're at. So now that we have the equipment that we like to use, I will go back to 60 feet. And again, like I told you, I like 2 to 3 pounds on that initial run. So when I'm back there at 60 feet, I'm pulling against this scale. And I will come until I find out where close to 3 pounds is on a consistent basis. And remember, your equipment might be different than this. If you have a soft action rod, it's going to pull different than a fast action rod will. So it's important that you practice with your equipment to get this down. You will then get to that 3 pounds. And what I do is I take a crayon. I'm not painting on my reel or anything. I'll put a little crayon mark where 2 to 3 pounds right there is. Then I'll go back, because once I get them on the shooting head, I'm now going to fight that tarpon between 4 and 5 pounds on the reel. So again, I go to 60 feet, hook my drag back up. I find out where that consistent 4 to 5 pounds of pull is, bending the rod to get me to that level. And again, I will mark right under my drag knob again with that crayon. Remember, I don't want you to do anything on your reel that's permanent. And I know where that's at. When I get closer to the end of the fight, when I am literally within 30 feet of the boat, I make my drag up to almost 6 to 6+ pounds around the boat. And again, you're going to have to take it back here, find out where it's at, go over and over until you get that mark, and then I mark that reel again with the crayon. After I mark that reel, then it's just practice. I will go back and I will just keep pulling until I know exactly where that tension is on my line. I know that's where it's at. You can leave the crayon on there if you'd like to, but after a while, you're going to feel it. You're going to know it's at 2 to 3. Then you get closer, you're going to adjust that drag. You're going to feel it. You're going to know it's between 4 and 5. And then as it gets closer to the boat, adjust it again. You're going to know it's at 6+, and you're just going to feel it. But it takes practice. But I'm here to tell you, you get that down and you fish this way around the boat. Like I said, I just don't lose fish by breaking them off around the boat. So this is a great way to fight a fish near the boat if you want to try to land everything or at least catch everything that bites. There's no such thing as a perfect formula, but this works really well for me. And I have a feeling if you practice it with your equipment and that scale, it's going to work really well for you. So the next video, we're going to actually get in the yard and I'm going to show you how I pull at those different stages. But I needed this one to set it up so that you know where it's going from here. So take a look, use the scale, and get ready for the next video.